going on, everyone? Alex here, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be discussing something very near and dear to my heart, and that is color grading. And what better way to show you than how I, myself, color grade. For me, personally, color grading is all about setting a mood. Like when I do these talking heads for YouTube, this is what it looks like without my LUT, and this is what it looks like back on. Let's say I want to do something that's a little bit more orange and teal. It really just helps set the mood for whatever you're filming. Let's say you're filming something happy. It's probably gonna be bright and very vibrant with the colors. Let's say you're filming a thriller. It's probably gonna be very dark, very mysterious. If you're filming a drama, maybe it's gonna be something in between. There's just so many avenues you can go with color grading, and I think that's why I love it so much. Got my laptop right here and some clips loaded into the timeline in Adobe Premiere, so let's go ahead and hop in and check out this color grading tutorial. Right away, disclaimer, I am by no means a professional colorist. I am myself still learning, but I do enjoy coloring. If you have any suggestions on color grading, leave them in the comments below. I would love to see them. I've got several clips here in the bin. They are all shot in log. Most of them are Canon, so they're gonna be C-Log. If you don't know what log is a flat color profile that retains a lot of detail in the highlights and detail in the shadows. And I do have one clip here from the GH5 back when I used to own it, shot in V-Log. So we'll go ahead and play around with that as well. So let's go ahead and open up a clip here. This is a interview from a company called Lamp House that I did a while back. And let's just go ahead and throw an in and out point on it. Quick little tip right here. When you are setting in and out points, if you notice these two little guys right here, this right here is just dragging video only, as you can see right there, or right here is just dragging audio only. But if you want to drag both of them, you just kind of click on it, drag it, and then do that. But in this case, we don't want audio. So in this case, we're just gonna grab the video clip. Next thing we're gonna do is drop an adjustment layer on top of it, and that's gonna be right here. You hit the new item, adjustment layer, click it. It's in 24 frames. Go ahead and hit OK. It's right there in your bin. Drag it, and drop it on top of the clip. Let's go ahead and drop Lumetri on that adjustment layer. You actually have two different ways to play around with Lumetri. You can do it in the effect controls, or as you can see right over here, there is a panel for Lumetri color. And we're going to go ahead and go to Creative, hit the drop down box and hit Browse. And right there are my own custom LUTs that I use. I'm gonna go ahead and click them. And let's go ahead and let's throw London on. So we're gonna go ahead and take the intensity and we're gonna drop it down. Let's say about, let's go ahead and do 50 there. And then what you wanna do is go over here and grab Lumetri again, and you want to go ahead and drop that on the actual clip itself. So when you drop it on the clip, we are on the clip, and we are going to go ahead and go into basic correction right here. And this is where you're gonna go ahead and add your contrast, mess with the highlights, mess with the shadows, kind of bring that image back to life. The reason you don't wanna just throw a LUT on and be done with it is because it actually degrades the image. That's why I bring the intensity down, and then I go in, I mess with the contrast, the shadows, the highlights, and so forth. And after all that, it really brings the image back to where it should be. All right, so let's go ahead and add a little bit of contrast to this guy, and we'll go ahead and, that feels about right. And then I'm gonna go ahead and drop the highlights because I feel like his forehead's just a little too hot there. So let's go ahead and drop the highlights to about 25, that looks pretty good. And then I'm gonna drop the shadows just a little bit. And I mean, boom. Simple as that, looks great. And what's cool is I can just go right back into this adjustment layer. I can go up to creative on some of these, and I had multiple LUTs available. So let's go ahead, you know what, let's go ahead and add Poe into it. And then you can kind of see the shift, the change. Kind of gives it a warmer, kind of a vintage vibe. You know what, let's go ahead and add Rowling to it. As you can see, it's pretty neutral. These are just some of my own personal LUTs that I like to use for my own footage, but if you're interested, leave a comment below and I don't know, I might release them. Quick little note, you will want to have your white balance as correct as possible, if not right on the nose, because if you start changing the temperature to warm or cool, it can really mess with your image. All right, one clip down, and let's go ahead and grab another clip here. Let's go ahead and grab this clip right here and drop it into the timeline. And right away, you can see his face is really close. And the reason why is because I'm editing on a 1080p timeline, and this is a 4K file. So quick little tip here, let's go ahead and right click and just set to frame size. Boom, simple, done. And then as before, let's go ahead and grab that adjustment layer, drag it on top of the clip here, go in and drop Lumetri on top of it, go to creative, go to look, browse, and for this one, you know what, let's go ahead and add Hemingway. And right away, you can see what it's doing if I just toggle on and off. And it's actually, you know what's funny is it's looking pretty good right away. But let's go ahead and, like I said, drop the intensity down. Let's bring it down to about 70-ish. And then let's go back to Lumetri, drop it on top of the clip, and then go into basic correction. And from there, let's go ahead and add in contrast. Let's go about, 35, you know what? No, let's go to 40-ish. Highlights are okay. Let's go ahead and drop the shadows a bit, give it a little bit more of a kick. And let's go ahead and raise the highlights just a bit here. And there it is. I mean, it's looking really good right now, but I'm gonna go ahead and warm it up here. Let's go ahead, let's see 5. It's really as simple as that. Let's go ahead and mess around with this this GH5 clip. I haven't played around with GH5 in a long time. So this is a clip of my wife and I when we were in Hawaii for our honeymoon. Funny little story about this clip. The day before, we were at this exact spot. And the reason we went back is because the day before, when it was bright, it was sunny, it was beautiful, I didn't bring my camera. Nope. We were on our honeymoon and I told myself, you know what? I'm gonna take one day and not bring my camera. And then we discover this sweet little town with beautiful scenery and I didn't bring my camera. So note to self, just take your camera. You never know. You might see something really cool. Snap a shot, take some footage. It is 4K on a 1080 timeline. Right click, set to frame size, and it's normal again. And again, add Lumetri to the adjustment layer. And from there, let's go ahead and add a LUT, and let's go ahead and do Faulkner. As you can see from the clip, it was an overcast day, so it's a little dreary. And let's go ahead and drop the intensity to about 70 again. And then let's go into the clip, basic correction. Let's add some contrast back into that image. I'm gonna do that. Highlights, don't really need to mess with the highlights because this is an overcast day. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the shadows, give it a little bit of a punch there. And then I'm actually gonna go back into curves and add an S curve to this image. Drop the shadows more. Raise the midtones. Raise the highlights. And then I'm gonna actually mess with the tint because I do remember from GH5, for some reason it just seemed to shift and lean towards the green. So I'm gonna add just a little bit more magenta back into the image. And there you have it, simple as that for the GH5. Like I said, this is without the basic correction. And go into adjustment layer, take the LUT off. And that is Vlog. Add the LUT, go to the correction, and there you have it. That's looking pretty cool. Well, that wraps up this color grading tutorial. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing, tap the notification bell so you can be notified when I upload a new video. And if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. Till then, shoot to create.